Last time in our wonderful D&D game, you guys met up with Aurelia and Felix to try and track down Helmut Heydrich, the man that probably brought Felix the job. And so hopefully the man who knows the name of Felix's actual employer. You went to the tavern where you were told Heydrich spends his evenings typically. Felix got that information from a local contact. You went into the tavern to confirm that it was him, and it in fact was. And then you asked Ayun if it would be a good idea to wait around and follow him after he left. And Ayun said, good things will happen and bad things will happen. And, well, she was right. He left the tavern and started walking home. You guys followed him. And he was attacked on the way. Several people, there was a group of 4 people who attempted to kill him in the street as he was walking home from the bar. And if you had not been there, he would probably have just died. But you also almost died a couple of times, so there was some good and some bad, but ultimately you guys made it through the fight, all of you alive, and with Heydrich still alive as well. You interrogated some of the corpses. You killed 3 of the attackers, 2 archers, and a swordsman. And then there was a fourth person who I think mostly fought with a bow and arrow and a short sword. But he did not take as much damage, and when he saw that the fight was not going his way, he uh, he left, vanished. um, yes, they were. Yeah, so you talked to the swordsman who you found out was a member of a mercenary group, a local mercenary group named Clappus Crowns, and he was doing some illegal work on the side. He had only been there for backup. He was not actually meant to be involved in the shooting. It was the 2 archers who were kind of hidden up on the roof were just supposed to take this guy out, and that was going to be the end of it. So they were not expecting an attack, but he was there in case something went wrong, which it did. And he didn't really seem to know much about who had hired the person, except that, or who had hired them to kill this person, except that it was someone very wealthy. Then you talked to one of the archers who knew a little bit more. He knew more about the person who gave them the job, whose name was Anders. And that Anders is someone who wealthy people come to when they want somebody killed. And these are mostly people who don't have their own contacts with assassins because they are attempting to appear legitimate. So they come to this guy. And then he hires the assassins, aka the 2 archers and the other people with them. And this archer also seemed to suspect that the identity of their employer was one Petrov Sauer. He was not positive, but that was his hunch. He also said that there was a person following Heydrich, who was not present in the battle, and that they had been following Heydrich and were supposed to find out when Heydrich ran into you guys. You're pretty sure they described a dragonborn. When Heydrich ran into a particular person, they would send a message to the assassins, and the assassins would kill Heydrich. That was the plan. So with that information, you guys took Heydrich, who was still unconscious but stable, brought him back to the Crownsguard headquarters, and put him in the infirmary there. It's about 10 p.m. ish. by the time you get there and get situated. And the Crown's Guard have sent some people out to take a look at the scene of the attack. But yeah, you guys are just here in this room with a still unconscious Helmut Heydrich, trying to figure out what to do next.
Well, now we like string him from the ceiling and interrogate him, right?
Well, we probably should interrogate him.
I mean, maybe we wait till he wakes up, says Aurelia.
I had never ever considered that a person would need to be awake in order to be interrogated. Thank you so much.
Okay, maybe we wait until we sleep. You guys all look pretty terrible.
Maybe? I don't know. I feel like he's going to be pretty grateful to us if we get to him as soon as he wakes up. I don't know.
How many spells do you have left, Ophelia? Can you cast Zone of Truth?
I have one, actually, that can cast Zone of Truth.
All right.
And then 3 that can cast, I don't know, shitty spells.
Well, I suppose we could do it now. One of you is going to have to heal him a little, though, I think, to wake him up. Otherwise, we just have to wait for him to wake up on his own, and that could take hours.
Well, if I could heal anyone, I wouldn't look like shit right now, so.
I am out of spell slots.
What? How many? You only cast like 2 spells. Artificer's trash. No, I'm just kidding.
That was so aggressive.
I just think the more
She's
spells
not
you
kidding.
can cast, the better.
If she ever says you're trash, she means it wholeheartedly.
I think I cast Cure Wounds on somebody before. That's why I'm out of spell slots.
I
believe you did.
suppose I can cast Zone of or Cure Wounds on. Wait.
I think that's true. I think Ophelia was the one who was unconscious at the end of the fight.
Well, yeah, because you'd stabilized and then needed
Yep.
to actually be
Wake you
healed.
up.
Yep.
Okay, are we like Zone of Truth lasts an hour? Or was it 10 minutes? 10 minutes. So are we waking him up and then casting the ability or the truth?
I think that makes the most sense. Make sure he's coherent before we start asking him any questions.
Okay. I suppose I shall do that then. I will cure him for 11 HP. I didn't heal anybody else for that much before.
Wow. All right, you cast Cure Wounds on Heydrich, who is lying in this cot in the infirmary area of the Crown's Guard headquarters. And you guys are probably alone in here. It's you all and Felix and Aurelia and Hydric. The guards are all outside doing whatever. There's probably one like hanging out by the door to the infirmary just to make sure nothing happens. But you have, for the most part, been left alone. So Hydric stirs, and then he opens his eyes and kind of sits up and like scrambles back on the bed a little bit. It's like, he looks around. He sees Adakora and points at you and says, "You were following me."
I also helped save your life. You're welcome.
Where the hell am I?
Not on the street dying, for one. Did you have any idea who those archers were?
No. I didn't get a good look at their faces.
Do we like want to ask him when the zone of truth is on there, or like no, or is it already? He'd have to make a charisma save.
Do you want to cast it?
Sure.
All right. Charisma save. What's the DC?
15.
All right. Let me find the stat block I was using for him.
Everyone in range has to do it, right? It's
I
not like a
I
select
think
thing.
so. I don't
Yes.
think you can pick targets. What's the range on it? I don't know if you can all stand outside of it because it's not a huge room.
It is 15 feet radius sphere, so 30 feet sphere.
Okay. Yeah, I think it probably covers, like, unless you wanted to go outside of the room, I think you're all in it.
No, we can all tell the truth for a little while.
Let's just make things fun.
Let's all just play truth or dare for a second.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna try to resist it. What is it? It's a charisma save?
Yeah,
Yep,
you can all, I mean, yeah, you
15.
can all try to resist it. That's fine.
I mean, I'll roll just for fun.
Ophelia passes with a 17.
Good.
Well, I didn't mean to roll on D&D Beyond. I just clicked the thing and it went. So I will just take that, and it's a 12.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Yeah.
does a 16 pass this DC?
Yes.
Okay.
Does what's
I
his
can
face
lie.
make it?
I don't know. I'm still looking for stats. Hang on.
He can just fail
Sorry.
automatically, that's fine.
Okay. Aurelia fails the saving throw. She rolled a 10.
Aurelia, what are your secrets?
Although nobody knows who failed except for Ophelia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Charisma. Okay. Felix rolled a 14. Does
He
that
fails.
pass? He fails. Okay. Oh, Hydric actually has decent charisma. Oh shit.
No.
he rolled a 20.
No.
Oh my
No.
god!
Wow.
I guess Ophelia will be like, well, that was useless, and then drop it. Unless they have to know.
He looks around confused. What was that?
Oh, wait. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area or starts its turn there must make a charisma saving throw. Does that mean if they fail, they have to make it for 10 minutes?
If you're not in combat, how does that work?
Don't know. Let me read the spell. Okay, yeah, the way it is worded, it sounds like
It sounds like we
y
can just wait there and
yeah, because
eventually everybody will fall.
it doesn't say that on a success you stop making the save. Although I guess that's usually how these things work, right?
I
Right? If
think so. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I'm not
Because
sure I've ever.
I think maybe this is like if you're in the middle of a zone of truth and somebody walks into the room, they have to make the save. I think is maybe what that's trying to say. Because like you wouldn't do this in battle, right?
I mean, you could. I guess it would be a weird
Right.
choice.
You could. It would be a very odd choice. On a turn or starts its turn there. Yeah, that's such like battle spell language. What the hell? Okay, that seems crazy that you have to make the save every 6 seconds for 10 minutes.
That's so powerful. If I were casting it, I'd just like wait for
Right?
years. Like maybe an alternative could be like when they want when you when we ask a question and he has to answer it or something, you can make the save and then decide. But otherwise, he can just
Maybe.
fail.
I'm
Or I mean,
so
succeed.
confused by this. Yeah, I've never I feel like I've never seen it played that way where you have to keep making
Yeah, that's not
the save if you make it, right?
the only experience I have with it is Adventure Zone or whatever, and I don't know. They don't
They do
really
it
play
on
by the
Those boys
rules,
are
but
Calvin balling it. So
they do it on Critical Role at least once though, and I think that happens. Right? Like they only make the saves once.
me, I've never seen Critical Role do it, so I don't know.
It's the I don't even remember what episode it's in, but there's the one where it's the scene where Jester asks if anybody has a crush on her.
I think
Oh,
that was so long ago. It was so early on.
It was
Molly was
really
still
early.
alive.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think Laura was there. Someone else was piloting her.
That's definitely true.
So I don't know. And like Laura, I don't think ever used it.
I think well, Matt was probably the one piloting her though. I don't know. You would think Matt would know how the spell worked.
I thought I don't remember.
Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna Google this because I'm
How does the
extremely
spell work?
confused.
You know, you think
Holy
Sword of
shit.
Truth. That's
Okay.
a pretty straightforward spell. I know how that works. Nope.
apparently Stack Exchange or whatever says Jeremy Crawford made a thing, but I don't know. He says requires you to make a saving throw until you fail, and then you don't have to make the thing
Oh,
again.
okay. Wow. I mean, he's gonna fail. That's so many saving throws. How many saving throws is that?
60?
60?
No, 100.
I
If
think
it's
it's
10, if
I
his
think
well, see,
it's
a turn is 6 seconds
100.
long, but it's not every 6 seconds, right? Like,
Oh, it's every minute. Yeah, okay. It's
yeah.
10. Because yeah. Although, no, I guess it depends on how
Wait,
long the
Well,
rounds
combat
are.
is 6 seconds. Every round is 6
Right.
seconds because you don't do like 6 seconds of one person doing a turn and then 6 seconds of another
oh
person
yeah,
doing a turn.
you're
It's all
right.
together.
You're right. Yeah, so your turn does come around every 6 seconds. If a
This
round is 6 seconds.
this spell is so
I thought a
powerful.
turn was 6 seconds.
The round is
Because
6
it takes
seconds.
10 rounds for a minute
Oh,
to
yeah.
happen.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, so so if there's
Oh,
10 rounds
God.
in a minute and the spell lasts for 10 minutes.
That's 100 saving throws. All right, let's see.
So you can't actually meaningfully fail at this spell? Is that
Wow.
Or meaningfully not fail. You can't meaningfully succeed.
I mean, if you're extremely lucky, you you could succeed.
For 100 rolls in a row?
Yeah.
If your bonus to charisma saves is greater than the save DC of the caster.
That's like
Oh my
insane.
god.
This is a really good spell,
I
actually.
know.
And you didn't want to have it prepared.
Ophelia's probably like, holy shit, the longer this.
Okay, this is bonkers. Okay, I'm just gonna. Damn. I guess I roll a bunch and then we'll see how much time you have left on the spell.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, this is really stupid. Wow.
What's the minimum number that he rolls and then fails? Or the maximum?
Uh, what's your DC again?
15.
15. Okay, he has a +3 to charisma.
So 12. No, 11 would be the dice number.
Wait, 12?
No, 12.
12 is a save?
Yeah, he would save if he rolled a 12 or higher.
Okay, so I didn't actually fail. I thought I did. But I will soon
No,
enough.
you no, her DC is 15. So you
okay.
failed. But if he rolls
That makes
a
more sense.
12 on the die, then he makes her DC because he has a +3 to his
Gotcha.
charisma saves.
That makes more
He's
sense.
so charismatic. What?
I know. Well, I just picked like a stat block that made sense. I picked it's spy. It's
Okay.
like a
yeah.
very he has 27 hit points, like he can do some sneak attack stuff. It's like not a powerful NPC monster. But yeah, he has a +3 to charisma. It's his best skill. Which is very funny. I guess it makes sense. I mean, he's a smuggler. He has to like do some wheeling and dealing. Okay, well, he rolled a 5 on his next saving throw, so. All right. So he couldn't keep that up for very long.
I'm gonna assume Ophelia also fails on the next one because I don't want to roll.
Sure. All right, everyone has to tell the truth.
God.
Wait, this is horrible. We can be evasive though, so that's fine.
How many hit points does Adakora have?
Right now?
Oh, okay. Right now. Not total, right? Do you have
Not
more than-
total, but right now?
Well, he only has 11 hit points right now because Ophelia healed
That's
him
still
for that.
more than I have right now.
Okay. Amazing.
Okay, so we've all eventually failed this spell. How much time do we have left?
I mean, most of the time, everyone failed, I think, except for.
Yeah.
Or no, Antimony succeeded on the first one too, right?
Yeah.
All right, you better roll another one.
Okay. All right, that's a 19 this time.
Okay. Just keep rolling. Just see how many it takes.
And then the third one is a 13. So.
All right. Okay,
I
so
held out for
everyone
2 times, but
everyone fails within like the first minute of the spell. What do you guys want to ask this guy?
I don't know. I did my part. It's Adakora's job now, and also Aurelia's.
I know it's Aurelia's job, but I don't want to do all the talking.
It's Adakora's
I
job.
don't want my 2 NPCs talking to each other.
okay, we're asking him about uh, who
Honestly,
hired him, right? Like,
that's
we're
what we're getting at. I kind of want to start by asking him um, if he has any suspicions about why people were trying to kill him,
mm,
because that might lead to something. That might lead to things. And also, I want to know if he knows that it's because of us.
Mhm. Okay, so you ask him that.
Yes. Do you know who wanted to kill you? Any
I,
guesses?
uh, I mean, I've I've gotten on the wrong side of plenty of people in my time, but this is the first time anybody's gone this far. Could have been, well, I did cross the myriad once. I guess they could have finally caught up to me, but I don't know. I feel like I would have heard something about that if they were in town. And those, they looked like locals to me. And local assassins wouldn't do a job for the myriad, not if they knew it was coming from the myriad. That's why I came here.
Well, one of them was Akatha's crown. So someone rich has it out for you. That ring any bells?
I've uh, I've done some work for some wealthy people. Yes. He looks very nervous. He is not looking at Felix.
Anyone recently that you might have disappointed?
Not that I've disappointed that I know of. Felix is trying not to like blow this completely immediately, but may have done some work recently for someone who has some wealth, but as far as I know, I did not fuck anything up. Is
well,
this
I
the
mean, maybe there was some misunderstanding. I mean,
You sound so nice. Like maybe there was some.
the
This is a
Edinburgh
criminal.
and Timony good cop bad cop routine?
yes.
Sorry, that was out of character. Keep going.
I mean, rich people. They get the wrong idea sometimes.
I think sometimes they have motives that they don't necessarily tell everyone about. Um, he's kind of looking around and like peering around you guys at the door, kind of getting his bearings a little more. Is this the Crown's Guard headquarters?
Yeah, well, a bunch of people just tried to kill us all in the street, so
What were you doing following me anyway?
Does it matter?
It matters to me.
Trying to think of a way to not lie and also not tell him anything.
Felix is like leaning on the back wall by the door, like glaring at this dude, but he's not saying anything.
Yeah, you stiffed someone of That's why. Technically. Um hmm. Hmm. I feel like we need a group huddle, but I'm just gonna talk out of character, like an unprofessional. An unprofessional. Um, does it matter if he knows? We've got to interrogate him anyway.
I mean, you're gonna have to come around to the topic eventually if you want to
Yeah,
know anything.
I'm just wondering how how obvious we want to be.
I think we should just be as obvious as possible and also call him a son of a bitch while we do it.
Okay, well, let's not do that because you suggested it.
What the fuck?
I mean,
um,
I think that we can hit a sort of middle ground by saying that we're investigating the situation, you know? Because like we're already at the Crown's Guard's headquarters. Like
Yeah,
he's got to
and
be aware that
Felix is in the room with you. Like it's
Yeah.
not.
right.
We could.
I mean, I'm thinking if we draw attention to Felix, he might be like, "Oh, fuck," and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
I think he's already like, oh fuck, because he's not looking at
Maybe.
Felix on
Yeah,
purpose.
I think
yeah.
you can make an
Probably.
insight check if you want to see if you think he's noticed Felix. But
Sure, I'll do that for the heck of it.
all right,
Where's my dice? Okay.
and like granted,
Well, that was bad. 10.
all right, Felix has sort of removed himself from the group, so it is hard to tell. But this guy is definitely like not looking at Felix. It could be deliberate. It could not be, but
Maybe he just thinks Felix is ugly. I don't know.
Felix is sure
Um,
staring at him.
But Felix is not hiding or anything. He's just not like crowded around the bed like you guys are.
Okay. Well,
Felix is
then
like, we're
I
both in this shit
will-
now, asshole.
Right, yeah. I am bringing you down with me.
Okay, then I
Motherfucker.
will say, unless somebody stops me, you owe a friend of ours some money.
You consider him a friend? That's awfully sweet.
Aurelia is just gonna kind of like gesture to Felix and say, "Do you recognize this man?"
Yeah. Very
Hydric just
straightforward.
Hydric just kind of sits there like with his mouth open, like maybe he's trying to lie and he can't do it. He's like, shit. Yes, he looks familiar. Felix just snorts and rolls his eyes. Yeah, Felix says, he might not owe me money, but he knows who does.
Well, you should just cough it up then.
I don't have any money on me.
No, you should cough up like who
not anymore. He
name,
doesn't.
asshole.
It's Ophelia Robkin.
That's right. I would rather not do that.
I'm sure you wouldn't. We have had a very long week. And it wasn't Felix who hired people to kill you.
I mean, I think we should.
So maybe you should reconsider your loyalties here a little bit.
I have my spell slot list detect thoughts available. I'm going to use it probably now.
Is either of these concentration?
Zone of Truth is not concentration, which impresses me.
So crazy.
This spell is nuts. What the hell? God. Okay, yeah, go ahead and do detect thoughts then.
Okay. It is done.
Okay. Surface thoughts on
Yes.
Hydric.
Yes.
Okay.
And also
yeah,
maybe like once or
Hydric's-
twice on Felix because I want to hear him.
Okay. Okay, I'll start with Hydric. His mind is kind of jumbled right now, as you might imagine. He's like kind of going between thinking like, who was trying to kill me? Why would he send people to try to kill me? What did I do? I didn't do anything. I didn't fuck anything up. And then like, what if are they lying? Can they lie? What is this spell? How does it work? Maybe they did pay for these guys to kill me and then pretend to save me so that I would talk to them. He's just kind of like spinning. Spinning these potential scenarios in his head. And he's like, all right, what's worse? I'm already arrested. But if I probably, I think this is the Crown's Guard headquarters. But if I talk, then he could just have me killed in prison. He thinks and you can tell. I think he probably thinks the name it is Petrov Sauer. He thinks like Sauer could just have me killed in prison. Maybe if I don't talk, I'll just get thrown in jail.
Okay, I'm gonna try to like relay as much of this as I can to Adakora as it's happening because I have telepathy as well.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, it is him. He's scared of getting killed in jail. Maybe we could like offer him protection? I don't know. He's probably gonna die.
I don't have telepathy. You can read my thoughts if I reply? Or how does this work?
I think just talk at you.
Can you reply to telepathy? I feel like you can't, right? Or
no.
And I can't read her thoughts. I can't speak in her head.
Well, she's just telling you so that you have this information for your helpful.
Yeah. No, telepathy is one way, and you know that. I think she's used it on you before.
Mm-hmm. You can think something at me if you want, but
she probably won't hear it, yeah. All right, are you going to read thoughts on anybody else, Ophelia?
I want to hear Felix.
Okay. Felix is just kind of like... he's like, man, I hope this gets over with quickly so that I can go to bed. I almost feel sorry for this poor bastard. It's not like I'm going to get paid anyway. Even if they arrest the guy who hired me and don't turn me over to the Cerberus Assembly, they're not going to fucking reimburse me for the crime I didn't get paid for.
I feel like the Cobalt Soul deserves a wizard in the ranks.
So yeah, Felix is just kind of like, yeah, well, best case scenario, they let me go and let me keep the half of the payment I already have. Worst case scenario, they turn me over to the assembly and then I'm really fucked.
Okay, very satisfying.
All right.
And then I guess once it's over, I will also send to Antimony. And I guess I'll say to Adakora, like, cough once if you want me to also tell this to Aurelia.
I cough, I guess.
Okay, I will
Seems like she
also
should probably know.
I will also tell it to Aurelia.
Okay. Aurelia's eyes get kind of big and she looks at you. Wow. Um yeah. So yeah, Hydric is sitting there like stubbornly not talking as you guys read his thoughts and then pass them around silently among yourselves.
He's just like, why are you so quiet? What's happening?
Yeah, he's just kind of looking around at you guys like, what is going on?
We're just letting him get a little nervous.
Prime interrogation tactics.
So, says Aurelia, you have met our friend Felix here. When was the last time you saw him? Uh, I don't have to say anything. He's kind of figured out that this spell
Right.
is going to make him say truthful things, but is not going to actually compel him to speak. So
Mhm. Sir, your employer wants you dead.
I mean, yeah, I think that kind of um avoids the contract, right?
I don't have any proof that he wants me dead.
How about the arrows that have been sticking out of us?
I don't know that that was him.
Did we? We didn't like take the Cathis crown badge with us.
I don't know. Did you?
Oh,
You
I don't
didn't
think so.
say. Okay.
I mean, unless retroactively someone wants to have taken it, I don't think we did.
That seems kind of like an awfully naive stance. I mean, it's like pretty much the only thing that's going on right now.
The kind of life I lead, it's not out of the question that multiple people would want to kill me.
Oh.
And like you said, they've never gone to these lengths before.
Not to my knowledge, no.
I mean, I feel like it's not a coincidence that we're like investigating this whole thing and it's revealed that people are supposed to kill you if they see people like Aurelia hanging around you. Like, I don't know.
He doesn't know any of that.
Yeah, you guys didn't tell him that. Yeah, he kind of looks at you like his eyes get kind of big. Like, what are you talking about?
We spoke to the dead people. The recently dead people, I suppose. They had no reason to lie.
What exactly did they say?
Mostly that if someone was following you who looked like Aurelia and perhaps the rest of us, you were supposed to be put down.
He sort of seems to be processing this.
It
All
seems like
right.
kind of at this point you're pretty screwed either way. Maybe like if you cooperate with us, you can be a little safer in prison.
He looks skeptical. I'm gonna have you make a persuasion check.
Oh God.
Can I say something first?
Sure, go ahead.
If we're lying, we go away and you are just arrested. You talk to the Crown's Guard, maybe they even let you go. You weren't the one committing violence. If we're telling the truth, you are not safe anywhere unless you have our help. Think about that for a second.
Okay, I'm gonna let you make the persuasion check.
Ooh.
Adakora.
Ugh. Okay. Which dice?
I
Let's
mean,
pick
is
an
your
random
persuasion
one.
-1? Because that's what mine would have
No.
been.
I was like, I
No.
feel like this probably isn't very good.
No, but it's up to the dice now.
It should be intimidation, because we're spooking him.
Okay, not terrible. Well, I think intimidation is the same for me as persuasion.
Nah.
18.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. He looks at all of you. He's like, all right. I can't really pretend that I didn't pay him. He like gestures at his head at Felix. But the person who paid me to get in touch with him, well, he's got something on me. If I tell you who he is, can you really do anything to protect me?
Well, we already almost died trying. We can stick close to you and make sure you're not on your own if somebody else comes after you.
We have friends in slightly high places.
We have friends in medium places.
Yeah.
I'm almost sure that my employer has friends in higher places than you.
We
Yes.
have a very vested interest in keeping you alive.
Also, they are not the main characters, and we are.
God. Even after I tell you, you still want me alive?
We need
Even
to be able
after
to
I.
clear someone's name, and that requires you to be alive a little more long term than talking to us.
What about after that? After I clear this person's name and the Crown's Guard throws me in prison, then what?
After this person's claim is cleared, you shouldn't be in danger anymore.
Why's that?
You think we really want to go to prison, dude? There's bigger fish to fry. That's not how I say it. That's just what I'm thinking.
You get the impression that he doesn't know exactly like the part about someone being framed necessarily.
If we can find whoever did this, hired Felix, and if it is your employer who is trying to kill you, then both those people will get what's coming to them.
All right. Fine. Like I said earlier, I used to work out of Zadash, and I got into a little bit of trouble with the Myriad a few years back. I left town, came here because everyone knows that the Myriad have never managed to really get a foothold in Druvenlode. That's been fine for a while. Uh, about a year ago, this rich man gets in touch with me. He says he knows who I am, he knows the Myriad's looking for me. And if I do a few little jobs for him occasionally, he won't tell them that I'm here. Everybody in town knows that he has Myriad ties, so I believe him that he could tell me, or that he could tell them where I am. This is the first time anybody's identified me as working for him. Anyway, it's Petrov Sauer. He
I don't
told
think
me
any of us look surprised.
probably not.
No.
Yeah.
At this point, we've been passing around his thoughts.
He told me to figure out when he was in town. He points to Felix. Right. I think Felix probably knows, because didn't the dead guy, say his name?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I think one of the dead guys was like, I'm pretty sure it's that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, he's like, yep, he was the one who told me to give the job to Felix. As a rule, I don't tell anybody that I'm working for him. I gave him some half the money and a note with the instructions. I thought the note thing was a little odd. He doesn't usually do stuff like that, but anyway, that was it. That was the whole job. Except then a couple of days later, he contacts me again and he tells me to arrange to meet Felix to give him the rest of his payment, but to not actually show up. That was also strange, but I did it. So, like I said, I don't know why he'd want me dead. Unless he thought I was going to give him up, I suppose.
I think the unfortunate thing is that you did everything right. Do you know if he has ties to the Crown's Guard?
Sour? Not any more than any other rich man. I don't think he has an insider, but his name has some pull in this town. Like any other important person, he owns 3 mines. Well, they didn't do it by themselves, or they wouldn't. I mean, you guys have some pretty powerful wizards.
True.
I'm going to turn to Aurelia. What can you do with this? What more do you need?
I'm not sure. I think, well,
Do you talk to the assembly, the watchmaster? Who does this go to?
I think I'll take it to the Watchmaster first. If, well, obviously he's right. Any person as wealthy as Petrov Sauer, it's going to be even if he doesn't have, a spy in the ranks of the Crown's Guard or something. We're going to have some real evidence to bring him down. This helps somebody who knows his name.
Uh, Turning back to God, what's his name? Hydric.
Hydric, yeah.
He's just HH in my notes. I can't write that fast. Um, can you get more evidence?
I mean, we had some some written communication, but none of it was about this job. It was just messages he sent me telling me to meet him somewhere, and then he told me everything in person. Did you say he framed someone? Or that you
Yes.
needed to clear someone's name?
Yes.
Well, I didn't know about that part. So if anybody else did anything specifically to frame this person, it wasn't me.
You've been working for him for a year. Do you know his other associates, other people he works with, especially people who would have access to the guild hall?
I mean, almost everyone he works with is from the guild. Lots of them.
People who would break the law? Well, that would be fun. Let's do that.
Bye. I don't know which of his guild friends are more inclined to break the law than others. I don't exactly sit in on their meetings.
Someone must be using this to try to get around rules, regulations, safety guidelines. That's where the rest of the evidence is going to be.
Look, I'll tell the Crown's Guard whatever I know. At this point, there's not much use in doing anything else. Um, but he could be working with someone from the guild, I suppose. I'm gonna say the spell is pretty close to being over at this point. So if you have any
Okay.
last things that you want to ask before it runs out, so you can be sure.
Hmm. Do you know an Anders?
Of course I do. Why? Everybody knows
That's
him.
who the archers said had hired them.
Of course it was. I guess if Petrov wanted me offed, he would have gone to Anders. Son of a bitch.
That's all I can think of.
All right.
Anybody else?
I don't know.
Do we know where one usually finds Anders? Do we want to find him?
I mean, that would be one more person to say, yeah, Petrov hired me to do this dubious thing.
I don't think you got a location for how to find him. But yeah, you could ask Hydrick that.
Yes.
Okay. Hydrick knows that I have to come up with the name for like a sketchy bar that he works out of, but he works out of a sketchy bar.
The swindling criminals. Amazing.
That would be a great name for a bar. Let's see. Tavern name generator, my favorite. The names are so stupid. The 12 Hamsters.
Hell yes.
Oh my god.
The Early Spiders Bar.
Wow.
I think you can't lose with the 12 hamsters.
The 12 Hamsters. God, that's so good. The Timid Shrub. The minor,
Shrub.
the minor battle axe. The Vulgar Grape. That one's good, actually.
God.
We serve only the shittiest wine here at the Vulgar Grape. God. I think I'm gonna save that for if you guys go to oh god, Bo's hometown, wine town, Comorta. Comorta definitely has a terrible inn called the Vulgar Grape. All right, yeah, he works out of a very stupid sounding bar called the 12 Hamsters.
Okay.
Excellent.
Hamsters are canon.
They are.
Hmm.
Yep. But yes, he seems a little confused about the framing part of the plot. And you can kind of tell he probably doesn't have anything to do with uh, planting the gold in Kastia's office or the money, the platinum, whatever it was.
I mean, he was still under the spell when he said that basically the two things he did were give the job to Felix and then arrange to meet him and not go.
Yep.
So I believe that's the extent of his involvement. I'm not going to roll insight.
Sounds about right.
All right. Aurelia says, "Thank you for telling us. If you don't mind, I think you should stay the night here. You'll be under guard. You can rest and recover. We can talk more about this in the morning." She looks at the rest of you. She says, I think I'm just going to stay the night here. Make sure nothing happens to him or to Felix.
It's probably a good idea.
And then in the morning, we can, well, maybe try to go after this Anders fellow.
It might be worth talking to, what's Mom's work friend? His name again? The guy she sent a letter to.
Oh, Erland?
yeah.
Erland, yeah.
Erland, yeah. Just to see if he has noticed anything going down, because we have more information than he does at this point.
That's true. But yeah, you could definitely talk to Erland. Yeah, because your mom had written him a letter that was like, hey, if whoever takes over the mines, whoever takes over my job starts yeah. He's also, he's also married, so maybe it's a whole polycule situation. God. But yeah, she wrote him a letter that was like, hey, if anything fishy starts going down, if the person who gets put in charge of the mine starts like changing anything, tell me, because I don't trust Petrov.
Yes. Good instincts, by the way.
Yep. But yeah, for now, Aurelia's like, okay, I'm gonna talk to the guard, see if it's okay if I just sleep in here. You should all go home and get some rest. Yeah. Oh my God, please do that.
Why not? Cards on the table. We're not gonna get this guy in a corner like we got like we got Hydric here. Unless there's like levels and levels of assassins that Petrov can hire. Like he just keeps hiring better assassins to kill and talk to.
Soon he hires the fucking that lady who worked for Lulf.
Oh God.
I don't remember her name. Whatever they call
The
her.
inevitable end.
The inevitable end, yeah.
Yes.
Petrov Sauer hires the inevitable end to kill you guys.
And we still can't get anyone to prosecute him.
Oh God.
I hope
yeah.
Aurelia's not going to be dead tomorrow. Should we all stay the night in the prison? That would suck. I'm so
She's
tired.
like, look, I'm gonna put some alarm spells on the door to this place. She probably just like, I don't think the infirmary has, well, maybe it has a window. She covers the door and the window to the infirmary with alarm. So if anybody comes in, she'll know. And she also makes Felix sleep in one of the other beds.
Do you have any spells left to contact us if something happens?
Let me check. I think she does. Yep. Yeah, she has a bunch of spells left, actually.
Right, because she didn't like take any damage.
She did not, no.
Fighting for her life.
She took a little bit of damage, but not bad. I think she got shot with an arrow once or something,
Okay, yeah.
and then she ripped it out. It was very badass.
All right.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a little bit injured, but like it's not too bad. She probably bandaged herself up when she got here. Felix, I think, is like fully unscathed
Right.
because Felix was mostly hiding, um, or standing behind a building anyway. But yeah, she says yes. I can contact you if I need help.
All right.
I think it's probably best if you go home.
All right. I'm gonna sleep forever. Like maybe 5 hours.
Wow.
Okay, so you guys head back. You leave Aurelia making her preparations, um, and you head back to the house.
Yeah.
Is there anything
What
you would
time
like?
is it?
It's probably 10:30 by now, I'll say. By the time you get back, maybe it's 11. So everyone's probably asleep except for Taito, but Taito's he's usually like in his study doing work at this time. Or sometimes he just like lays in bed with Cassia,
Mhm.
depending on his mood. But he's like downstairs is dark when you get back. Do you guys all just kind of go to bed pretty quickly, or do you do anything first?
Um, I think if everybody's basically asleep, yeah, I'll probably just go to bed.
All right.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay.
I
Ophelia,
have no
you go to
sending
bed.
spells, so I can't do shit.
That's
Wait,
true.
I have a pearl of power.
Oh.
Okay.
I must consider this. My dreams of sending a fuck you to Petrov Sour. I would do it if it wasn't horribly disastrous. I mean, what
You
could go
haven't
wrong? He
mentioned
could
this
like,
to any of us, so
he
I
could like
can't
disappear.
stop you.
Right.
I guess I'll like ask Adakora and / or Antimony if we think it would be useful for me to ask for a monk to also go on vacation who can punch the truth out of people. Because I mean, they can do a better job than I can. I can't promise that it'll happen, but we can see.
I guess we might as well ask.
I mean, yeah, I
Um,
guess there's no harm in asking, right?
Maybe
You
that
do
would be. Go ahead.
You do remember Aurelia talking a little bit about truth magic and its like legal uses?
Yes.
And there were like only a few specific like government approved clerics who are allowed to do that and have it be like admissible in court, basically.
Oh.
So you could ask for a monk to come down, but like you don't know if that would be accepted as
We
evidence.
could ask specifically for someone who is notarized, or whatever you need. You can always see. Do you have a law monk we can borrow?
Yeah, you could ask if you wanted to.
Um,
You don't know if anybody at the Cobalt Soul is authorized to do that, but
and Torkel will have no idea because why you're asking. Because as far as he knows, you're at a wedding.
Actually, that's a good point. Maybe I will let Torkel know we are in some shit.
oh my god. Yeah, when was the last time you talked to Torkel? I don't even remember.
A while ago.
I think
I think,
I think you talked to him after the mine fight because you asked him
yeah.
about armor, but I don't know if you
That's
told
right.
him that you got into a fight. I don't remember.
I feel like for this, Torkel deserves a prepared sending instead of just a
Just some mumbling.
Okay. What should I say? I will start with, hey, so things are a little fucked up.
How about the wedding is over, but we might need a few more days. God.
My second sentence will be, I hope you have spell slots so you can send back to me.
Wow.
Can you send a law-approved monk who can do criminal interrogations?
Okay, I have I have a 25-word message that I'm going to send.
Okay. The giggling makes me super confident.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. It's gonna be, hey, so things are a little fucked up. I hope you have spell slots so you can send back to me. Wedding over. Fighting myriad. And that's it.
Oh my god.
God.
Okay, yeah, you hear back pretty quick because it's just the reply to your sending, so it's got to be pretty quick. Ophelia? He sounds a little bit groggy. Like maybe he just woke up. Are you fighting the myriad or getting into lots of fights? Why are you fighting at all? I'll send you a message momentarily. Like, oh god, okay. Let me type something up for him real quick.
Poor Torkel.
Poor Torgal, he was asleep.
Please ask him for a bard lawyer monk, please.
Okay, let me see. That's 22. Let's see. Um, okay, yeah, he's just gonna send this. Okay, so a couple of minutes later. A couple of minutes later, you hear back from Torkel, and he says, "Is anyone hurt? Do you need backup? Who are you fighting and why? I thought the Myriad didn't have any power in Druvenlode."
Okay, can you like paste that? Because
I will, yeah.
Torko came out with like all the questions.
Yep.
Okay. Ophelia will ignore all of that and reply with, "Do you have someone who can punch truth as valid evidence? Adakura's mom is being framed by a rich person."
Wow.
Wow. Do you say
A
fucker,
rich fucker?
instead? Yeah.
Yeah.
What does she actually say? Okay. A rich fucker. Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, more or less. I think he'll just assume that everybody is fine if you don't tell him, like, oh yeah, Adakora died or whatever. He's like, she wouldn't leave that information out.
Would she?
We don't know. She's never been in that situation. Let me see. Okay, I have to think about this for a second. Okay, guys, I'm going to ask you what you think, since you know about as much of the like canon Cobalt Soul lore as I do. Do you think that the Crown would have someone who is approved to do this working at the Cobalt Soul? Like, would they allow that or not? Do you think? Opinions.
I'm torn because on the one hand, like, it's an objectively useful ability. And I can see why they would like want somebody to legally have that. But on the other hand, I also feel like the Crown doesn't trust the Cobalt Soul.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
here's the
very
thing.
torn between those two things. Yeah.
Is it a monk ability or specifically an expositor ability?
It's anyone who's the like monk path way of the Cobalt Soul can do it. So I mean,
Right.
if we assume that there are monks who are high level who aren't expositors, then yes, they would have that ability.
if it's Way of the Cobalt Soul, though, it kind of implies that unless you don't get that unless you've at least been part of the Cobalt Soul at some point.
Yes, I think it's only Cobalt Soul members who learn that.
Right. So so if you wanted people in court to be able to do it, you kind of have to work with the Cobalt Soul because they're the ones who train people how to do it.
Right, but I'm just thinking like maybe they only do Zone of Truth. Maybe they don't. Maybe the punching the truth out of someone is never admissible in court and it's just
Hmm.
clerics. Because that was what I initially like had not even factored in the monk ability. I had
Right.
kind of forgotten about it when I made that up when I was like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
clearly they wouldn't let just any cleric cast Zone of Truth and have it count because that cleric could be lying, like
Right.
so it has to be someone ultra trustworthy, so it's like a few clerics of Arathis and maybe someone else, I don't know. But it's not a lot of people. But like yeah, maybe there are one or two monks who are approved to do that. I don't know.
I feel like it would be interesting if they were only supposed to have the ability just like as a concession by the government, like as in like here you have some rights, but like don't ever expect to use them because we won't let you ever, if that makes sense.
I mean, they can use them. It's just like, can they be used for legal purposes?
Like,
Like if you get a confession from someone, does it count? Can you then go to the watchmaster and be like, "Hey, he confessed."
Yeah,
like
Is this court admissible? Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Is it court admissible?
that's what I'm kind of meaning. Like they would have someone, probably just like one person, maybe be court admissible, but like only to say here we're like cooperating with you a little bit. We're never gonna like
Okay.
call on you or like ask you to do anything.
Right.
There's some legal scholars in the Cobalt Soul who are incredibly bored because they're never called upon.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they can do like regular lawyering if they want to, but um okay. Yeah, I think because yeah, the Cobalt Soul's like not a law enforcement organization really also.
That's true.
So like it makes sense that they wouldn't all have those official powers according to the Empire. And like most of the stuff expositors are doing is like kind of like on the down low a little
Semi-illegal.
bit. Yeah, it's a lot of what they do is like not illegal necessarily, but not like official either.
Yeah.
The Cobalt Soul is like on tenuous ground sometimes, which is why there are secret agents infiltrating it.
Counterpoint. That is also true about lawyers in real life.
Oh, sure, yeah. But
So
like lawyers don't have magical powers.
I'm just saying that, like, if lawyers are allowed in court, I don't know why the Cobalt Soul wouldn't be. Not everyone, but like, I feel like there's got to be some people who can do this, and it is court admissible.
Maybe. Well, okay, and I guess the way the do you have to make a saving throw for that ability too? I don't remember.
I will look.
Cuz that's big. Like the reason the cleric one has to be like they have to absolutely trust the cleric is that like
Mhm.
the cleric casting the spell, even if there are other people in the room who hear the confession, only the cleric casting
No idea why the Cobalt Soul Monk is not on 5e tools. But I guess we have the freaking book. I will look on the official source, I suppose. It says forces a charisma saving throw on the Critical Role wiki.
If someone confesses to a crime, like, there's no way to ensure that they're telling the truth.
Did I drop out for a second there?
I think I did too.
A second, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we like all.
Okay,
Okay,
that was
cool.
weird.
Weird. Okay, what was the last thing you guys heard me saying?
You were saying that
I
in the
last
case
heard
of Zone of
you.
Truth, only the cleric can tell you whether someone saved or failed or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's why the cleric has to be like someone that the government trusts absolutely. So that's why that's like a very specific position. But does the monk ability have a saving throw? Okay, here we go. Okay, they do have to make a save. The player knows if the creature fails.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Only the person doing the thing knows if they're actually telling the truth.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same. It still doesn't compel them to talk.
Right. Okay, so that's why I think like not every monk who has like not every level 6 monk can do this for like a court, right? Because they don't
Right.
trust
Yeah,
every
no.
level 6 monk to be honest about it.
Yeah. But I also don't think like no expositors would ever be trusted by a
Okay.
Gwendolian court. That
Okay.
seems unlikely to me. I just feel like there probably aren't very many.
Okay. So what do you guys think it would take? Like is it like just really high level expositors or really high level monks? Do they have to like apply to have that like to get approved for that by the empire or something?
Yeah, I feel like they'd have to apply or something. They'd have to
Yeah,
work with someone
they probably
that
have to
does
get like
or
special certification for it or something. Okay.
yeah.
So there's a few of them, but there's not many. Probably like Udal Afan probably can, but
Yeah.
they
It
won't
would,
because they're busy, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it would be so
Udalafon's
funny
not
if
gonna come to
Udalafon
Druvenwood.
came here.
right, yeah. I bet like Dyron could do it. Probably Kresh. Although I don't know because Kresh is like a known anti-Dwendal. Like maybe she just never applied to do it. She was like, fuck this. I'm not helping the government. Okay, yeah. So sorry, that was a lot of talking. But yes, Torkel is going to confirm then that there are a handful of people. He is not one of them, I don't think. Because Torkel is kind of like a weird outlier case for a cleric. Like most clerics
Yeah.
work at government run temples and are like actual government officials, and Torkel's not really. The Cobalt Soul clerics are like a weird exception to that. So yeah, he is certainly not. He's not admissible in court. His zone of truth is not admissible in court. But there are a couple of high level monks who are. but yeah, he'll say, let's see. Yes, we have a few. I can send someone tomorrow, probably. Let's see, does he have any more questions? Yeah. God. Why are you fighting criminals? That's what he get back.
Torgal can't read behind the lines. I mean, if we say Adakor's mom is being framed by a rich fucker, then obviously we have to, like, defend her honor, you know?
That's true.
Yeah, but that doesn't
There is like
goes.
that.
that doesn't imply that you got attacked in the street. Like that's not. He's like, "Are you in any immediate danger?" Basically.
How immediate.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll say that too. Are you in any immediate danger? And that's the end. So you may respond.
Well, he might.
Okay. Ophelia says, well, we followed someone and then that someone almost got killed, but we fought them off. Maybe we'll die later?
Oh boy. Okay. All right. The response you get back is, let's see. Be careful. I'll talk to my curator in the morning and let you know what they say and how soon we can send someone. Good night.
Okay, cool. Love you. Bye.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Ophelia accidentally calls Torkel dad. One of these days, it's gonna happen. Okay, that is all you hear from Torkel.
He says he'll talk tomorrow and maybe send someone who can legally do it.
Well, that would be helpful.
Which means we probably need a plan for tomorrow, because I feel like we're just gonna waste this person's time if they start heading over tomorrow, and we don't know what we're gonna do. Like, are we just gonna confront Petrov and like punch him to death? I mean, truth.
We're going to talk to Erland. We're going to. Honestly, I think we should talk to Anders. We should just do it out in the open. Because he's gonna send people to try to kill us anyway, maybe.
We should drag him out of the bar and put him in the stocks, and then have a public interrogation.
I don't think that's gonna work. Hey, maybe. Keep hope alive. Basically, we're going to gather enough evidence that by the time someone gets here, Aurelia or the Crown's Guard or whoever thinks that they can bring Petrov in to interrogate him. because they're not going to want to risk that unless we have something solid.
Okay, and we're gonna do that by asking Anders what's going on.
The thing is, Anders could tell us that Petrov hired him, and maybe he'd even know why. I don't know that he's going to, but I also don't know. We don't have anything on him. We're not going to get anything on him. I don't know. I'm tired. I got really super stabbed today. I want to go to bed.
I guess that's valid. I have never been stabbed in my life and did not almost die as well.
Well, you're welcome for the periapt.
I mean, thanks, I guess. Seems like a weird thing to brag about, but
I'm not bragging.
you just assumed that I would be thankful for your generous gift.
I assumed that you weren't thankful. It was a very sarcastic you're welcome.
Oh, well, then I guess all is well. Good night then.
I'm already trancing.
Oh my god. Look at this
Okay.
fucker.
Just downstairs on the couch.
Yeah. Just out.
Okay, Ophelia and Antimony, you both go to bed.
Yes.
Okay. Ophelia, you notice that Hannelore is asleep in the room when you go in there. Just, normal. She doesn't wake up when you come in.
She should just, like, go home already. When are you guys supposed to be back?
What I wrote down at the beginning of this day, this hasn't been quite as long a day as the Eternal Day in Besace Teal, but it's been a few sessions of the same day.
Yeah, you've been on this day for a little while. At least 2 sessions.
Was that Hannelore was leaving the day after tomorrow? So
Yeah.
not in the morning, but the next day.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so she has like one more full day in town for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Ophelia, what is your passive perception?
22.
22. All right.
That's your passive?
Yes.
It's because she has that feed, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Okay. So you go to sleep. You are just about to drift off. Incredible. You're just about to drift off when you hear the rustling of blankets, and Hannelore gets out of bed and, very quietly walks across the room, trying not to disturb you, and leaves the room.
I'm just gonna assume she wants water or something, because I'm not a suspicious bitch at all.
Okay. That's what I was like, she's probably not going to think anything's up.
I want to think something's up. I want to think it so bad.
Too bad you already used your detect thoughts.
Yep. Not that it would work anyway.
That's what would be suspicious.
But that would make Ophelia suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. God, that would be so funny though if you used detect thoughts on Hannelore to see if she was getting a drink of water or not. Like,
I feel like Ophelia has at least some decorum
okay.
and not.
Does News to me. Big if true.
Well, she hasn't thought to Adakora. Or like invaded Adakora's
That's
thoughts.
true.
Not yet.
Okay. And you're in your room, Adakora. Are you trancing?
I honestly, I think it would be funny if he fell asleep on the couch. So he's just on the couch,
Okay.
just wiped.
Taito came at some point and put a blanket on you.
That'd be sweet.
You have the stone with you, right? You brought it with you.
Yes.
Is that something? Okay. How do you think elf trance works? Would you be woken up by the stone?
I imagine it's got to be similar to sleeping. Like if it
Okay.
would wake you up when you're a human asleep, it should wake you up. If you're
Yeah.
tranced.
You hear that tapping noise.
I jump.
And it's the stone which is in your pocket.
God, hi.
Where are you?
Downstairs. I'm on the couch.
Why?
Because I was really tired.
God, okay, I'm in your room. I thought you hadn't come back or something.
I'm back.
Do you want me to come downstairs?
I'll come up.
Okay.
Probably more comfortable anyway. I'll go upstairs.
Oh man, I did not expect you to not go up to your room. That's so funny. She had a moment of sheer panic. Right. Okay, yeah, you come up to your room. Hannelore is sitting on your bed, with like her feet pulled up onto the bed. She's like got her arms wrapped around her knees.
Sorry.
My God, you look terrible.
Thanks.
What the hell happened to you guys?
Well, we found Hydric. Felix ID'd him. And then he got attacked by assassins.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was a little more cooperative after that than I think he would have been otherwise. It's
I
not a
bet
total
he
loss.
was. Jeez, all right, here, come, lie down. Oh my God. She gets up off the bed and like. Oh, yeah, yeah. The Myriad probably not that involved, but you don't actually know, so.
Not sure.
You know this is not the Myriad's town. Okay, she like sort of awkwardly tucks you in, like she pulls the blanket over you and then like sits back down on the bed. It's like, okay, tell me what happened.
All right, I'll just tell her because there's a lot there.
All right. Okay, she's like, wow, all right, wow. I mean, I guess it makes sense if it would ruin Zaur's entire career if this was linked to him. I mean, he'd lose fucking everything. Probably.
Yeah, and he will if we can nail him.
All right. Did you tell her about the conversations with Torkel?
I only got half of the. I only know half. I probably would have said that Torkel might be sending. We might be able to get an expositor or someone
Okay.
new.
Yeah,
Law
someone
monk, lawyer monk.
someone to punch the truth out of.
We might.
Yeah. She's like, okay, that would be useful. I mean, yeah, then all you would need is this Hydric guy, right?
Yeah, if we can keep him alive long enough.
I mean, I think Aurelia and Felix and an entire room full of Crownsguard can probably do that for one night, at least.
Guess we'll find out. Because I am a little too stabbed to help at the moment, anyway. So,
Looks like you got shot about 4 times.
I got shot twice and stabbed 4 times,
Wow.
I think. I don't know.
You got into close range, didn't you?
I was really mad. I knew it was stupid, but I was mad.
All right. Well, you survived, so
Yeah.
I can't be too mad at you. All right. Well, hopefully you can get this wrapped up quickly. I have to be back in town
Yeah.
soon, so I'd rather not leave you here, but I will if I have to.
Yeah, you're not blowing your cover for this.
Okay, I'm all right. I wanted to see how it went. Yeah, you better meditate or whatever the hell you do.
You know what I do.
I know, I'm just usually asleep when you do it.
I'll be fine. I only need 4 hours. Maybe 5 tonight. Maybe 5.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow and I'll pretend to be very interested when you tell me this again. And she leaves the room. Let's see, I'm gonna roll stealth for her again to see if you notice her coming back in. Damn, she's rolling really low. Okay. Yeah, you notice her come back in, Ophelia.
She is suitably quenched, I must assume.
Yeah, you like just barely wake up. It's not very, and yeah, she gets back in bed. You go back to sleep. All right. You all get a long rest. Hooray.
Yay.
Felix gets all his spells back.
He should have treasured that day because he won't get to do it very much in the future.
Oh, poor Felix. I'm like very fond of him now. I was
I
not
really
expecting
want
this
him
to
to be in the
happen.
Cobalt Soul. Maybe we can just steal him.
How many fun NPCs are you guys gonna put in jail?
No!
Cause to be put in jail?
Well, they commit crimes.
They
We
sure
keep
do.
investigating them. If we could let him off the hook and it would be fine for Kazuya, sure, but
It'll be fine once we nail what's his face, Petrov.
Okay. All right, it is the morning. You don't hear anything from Aurelia overnight, so you assume it's fine. You have kind of normal family breakfast, which is weird after all of that.
yeah.
Do you tell Taito and Kasia anything? They don't really ask you, I don't think. You're just kind of like, all right, they're here, they're alive.
Yeah,
Really
we
nothing.
burn the bloody clothes and we move on. We don't tell them anything.
Okay.
I don't know. It seems like it would. It seems like they should not be allowed to know what's going on in the investigation. I'm not sure if we're telling them, so I'm not going to say anything.
All right. Okay, yeah, it's a very kind of quiet, awkward breakfast. Cassia and Taito don't really ask you what happened. You don't really tell them. I don't know. Anything else happen in the morning?
Does Torkel say anything?
Yes, it will. Well, I think it's gonna be a little while. It's definitely like at least noon before he gets back to you
Okay.
because he has to go have some meetings about it. So if you do anything before noon, you have not heard from Torkel yet.
It's very funny, the like idea of him going to meetings and being like, Ophelia is doing something, and
I'm not sure what, but
yeah,
I do trust her.
that's
So
a
you
terrible
know our
decision.
problem team, the ones that were on vacation this week. Well,
Yeah, yeah. You know how they were on vacation? Well, they got involved in something.
That's how you know we belong in the Cobalt Soul.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay, so do you guys go back to the Crown's Guard spot before noon
I guess.
to get Aurelia? I think she doesn't contact you guys because you had just sort of said like we'll meet here tomorrow.
Because
Yeah.
she's dead.
Well, she doesn't want to use her third level slots if she doesn't have to.
So true.
Like she has more of them than you do, but still.
Wow, only one.
Do you have 2 third level slots?
Let me just double check.
I think she has 3.
Yeah, I have 2, so
Wow.
but then she also has spell slots above that, so I
She
can't say
does.
too much.
Yep. Okay, so you go and meet up with Aurelia. God, I'm
Is
trying to. Oh, go ahead.
is Honolulu coming along this time?
That's what I'm trying to decide.
Mm. I mean, I
Um,
guess what we do in if I guess we catch her, like she's been involved
yeah, she's been involved in a lot of it. I
a
think
lot
she
of ways, so
probably
I
comes with you guys. Yeah,
guess we catch her up again.
as you're walking there when you're not around your parents.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she's just like. It really seems like she's hearing this story for the first time.
I want to be like, does she really seem like it? But I don't think Ophelia disbelieves.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
Unless she
thing. To do
can't,
insight,
like,
you have to be suspicious.
yeah,
Catch her up.
unless she wants to contest versus my passive 17 insight.
She did roll higher than a 17.
Damn. That's okay. Ophelia is full of trust.
All right. Okay. Yeah, so only Adakora knows because he told her last night. Yeah, she takes all this information in and is like, "Wow, all right, that sounds like the worst night. But I guess you got the information you needed." Um, you arrive at the guard house. You ask at sort of like the front door to see Aurelia. They let you in, and Aurelia like sticks her head out of the infirmary door and waves at you.
Oh, good. All still alive.
Yes. Did you afraid we wouldn't be? Were you God? Were you afraid we wouldn't be alive?
Just a little bit. Getting jumped by assassins will do that to you.
I suppose they would have to be pretty bold to try to jump us in here. Anyway, we're all alive. We're all feeling much better today.
How does
So,
a Hydric look? Like he's regretting ever speaking to us, or
I think it really probably brings you to like one of the meeting rooms that you talked to Felix in before. Felix and Hydric are both there. They're just like eating breakfast, probably. They're eating like, rations, and they look a little grumpy about it. But yeah, Hydric looks kind of resigned. It's like, well, I'm alive for now.
he's alive.
He's
Can't
alive.
complain about that.
Nope. Okay, and Aurelia says, so did we want to try and find this Anders?
Oh yeah, did we like tell Aurelia that we talked to the Cobalt Soul, or?
We haven't told her yet. We decided all
Nope.
that after. Or
After you
decided
left
that
her, yeah.
after.
Perhaps we shall make mention of it. Unless we want to be sneaky, but I don't see the point.
Okay, so you tell Aurelia about maybe getting Cobalt Soul people to help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She brightens up at that. Oh, that would be a great help. Then we...
Wait, did we even tell her we were affiliated with the Cobalt Soul, or were we just...
I think you did? You guys mention
She's
it
got it.
constantly.
She must
There's
have
no way
known.
you haven't said something about the Cobalt Soul yet. You also worship Ioun. Like, she's definitely noticed
True.
that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she knows that by now. Okay, sorry, where was I? She says, "Oh, I mean, if we had that, all we would really need would be Hydric's confession, I think." I mean, to prove that Petrov Sauer ordered the sabotage.
Oh, that would be convenient.
It wouldn't be enough to get him on, paying for a murder, but I don't know how likely it is that we'll get a professional criminal to talk to us.
It does seem unlikely. But I do kind of want to talk to him anyway. I don't know if that's smart. Just kind of want to say, hey, the assassins failed.
Well, I think he probably knows that already. I mean, one of them escaped.
But wouldn't it feel so good just to say it?
Yeah.
This is not a serious suggestion. Please don't.
Aurelia's kind of like, I mean,
If
I
I
don't
thought it would be
really.
useful, I don't.
We might learn something from him. It's entirely possible. Maybe if he knows that Sauer's about to go down, he'll want to give us some evidence.
Or maybe he'll tell Sour, and Sour will come up with something we haven't thought of yet.
I mean, I think if he was going to tell Sauer, he would have done it already. In which case, he may be planning something that we don't know about. Maybe we can persuade Anders to tell us what Sauer is going to do next. Or we could just think of some excuse to go and talk to Sauer again.
In either of those cases, what do you think would be the best approach?
Hmm. Well, we don't know much about Anders except that he sets up contracts for hired killers. I think maybe, well, I'm sure he would know who we were as soon as we walked in there, since he had someone watching out for people of our description. I think we would just have to tell him. Tell him that we've got Hydrick and that soon we'll have enough evidence to take Sauer down, and it's not much use working for him now.
We had one other name. Corey. Whoever was supposed to be watching out for us.
That's true. We don't know anything about this person, though, do we? I suppose
No.
we could try to find something.
Look at Hydrick. Does it ring a bell for Hydrick? Does Hydrick be like, oh yeah, I know exactly who that is?
Let me see. Hydrick might know. Let me roll for Hydrick.
Was someone named Corey who was also working with the squad that Anders hired.
Mm-hmm. No, he didn't. He rolled badly, so he does not know. He's like, nope. There's a lot of people in this town whose names I don't know. Shockingly, no, I'm sure it's some low-level person that they've got sneaking around for them. Aurelia has a thought, and she says, since I saw the person, the one who ran away, I could try scrying on them.
That's a thought.
If we know where they are, we might be able to track them down.
We might have more luck with them than Anders. Or more luck with Anders if they help us.
That's true. All right, do you want me to see what I can find out?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. All right, make yourselves comfortable. Okay, she is going to take out her components and she sort of like monopolizes the table surface and starts setting up her scrying ritual. Let's see. Okay, what is the saving throw? Wisdom. Okay. We have met. She has met them. But she doesn't know them very well, so I think it's just her save DC. We don't have any of their stuff. Okay. What is this person's wisdom save? Ooh, not good. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. It was not, it like froze for a second and I was freaked out. Okay. Okay.
We can hear you.
So, yeah, Aurelia just sits there for like 10 minutes, not saying anything. You all sort of have to fidget in silence or talk quietly to each other, I guess. But yeah, she eventually comes out of the trance and says, "Well, I found him.
Anything
And
useful?
he's alone in a room. It looks like some kind of boarding house, maybe. I can try to describe it and see if either of you," she points to Felix and Heydrich, "know where it is." He's kind of damaged, or he's all bandaged up. I think still recovering from last night.
All right.
Sorry, I'm reading the message. Um, yeah. So, says she describes the. She probably saw a little bit of the exterior of the building too that this person is in. And I think Heydrich probably knows where it is. He's like, yeah, that's just like a shitty apartment building, basically, in one of the worst neighborhoods. And yeah, Heydrich's like, all right, I'll give you directions, but I'm not going anywhere with you people.
I mean, you've pretty much established yourself as useless because you died. So,
He sort of glowers at you.
I think not going out in the open is probably the best move for you.
I'm glad we agree.
Don't like the idea of leaving you here either, but I don't know what else.
I don't know who the person who came after me was, that the one that ran away. I mean, it might be someone I know. They were just hiding their face. But if you do decide to go, talk to Anders. Be careful. At any given time, there's several of his employees hanging out in that bar. Just make sure you've got an exit planned.
That makes sense.
Um, yeah, Aurelia's like, okay, gonna leave Felix here too, I think. Felix is like, yeah, sounds good.
Felix wants nothing to do with this.
Yeah, he's like,
Are
you
you
know
two
what?
gonna get along? We leave you alone in a room.
Felix is like, listen, I'll just scream really loudly if we get attacked. I don't know if Felix has sending. He might. I can have him prep it. I can just like decide that he has it probably. Um,
He can also set an alarm, presumably.
he doesn't have that prepared either. He doesn't have a character sheet. He's got like a modified NPC stat block that I just like added the spells that I thought he would have too. So he can have any other spells that I want him to have, really, but I gotta swap them out.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Okay, I'm gonna give him a sending for the day. Okay, just gonna write a note of this. I don't feel like going into the sheet right now. I'll do it later. Okay, Felix has sending. All right. I think Honolulu is probably like, I might also stay here if that's all right, or I might just go back to your parents' house.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. You don't need to get involved if you don't want to. I'm still out here assuming Honolulu's a
Right?
normal
Yeah.
person.
Right.
Yeah. This is all getting a little intense for me. But my God. Good luck. And don't, try not to get into any more fights if you can help it.
We'll do our best.
Okay. So the three of you and Aurelia are going to head to the building where you saw the guy who ran away. Or are you going to go to the bar that Anders is known to frequent?
Let's not confront Anders. Let's maybe talk to this person.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do
I'm
we
down with
still
that.
want to talk to Erland?
Oh yeah, you didn't really talk
Well,
about that
I mean,
one.
she's cried now, so we don't want to. This person could
That's
leave.
true. Yeah, you probably want to
Yeah.
go there while you know they're there.
let's take care of this first and then.
Okay. Yeah, I think Hydric probably writes down the directions to this building so that you guys can get there. And Aurelia will know what it looks like when she sees it. Mm, tunnel is not coming. Are you guys gonna try to be like sneaky at all, or
I mean, out on the street.
I mean, it is the
Um,
middle of the day, so it's probably not gonna be that effective. That's true.
yeah, I mean, we're with a 7 foot tall dragonborn.
God, yeah,
We
that's
can wear
true.
like it's winter. We can wear cloaks.
Yeah, you're
I assume we're
definitely.
trying not to draw attention to ourselves, but there's only so much we can do.
It's true.
They know who we are now.
It's true. Yeah, you yeah. Okay, so you're all wearing your cloaks. Aurelia definitely has like a big cloak on and the hood pulled up. But yeah, it is cold enough out that this is not suspicious. Everyone is kind of dressed like this. And yeah, you follow the directions um to a sort of a fairly run down looking um apartment building kind of situation. I don't know if I want to go for too much longer. So I may just end it here. Is that okay?
That's fair,
Yeah,
yeah.
that sounds good.
Because I feel like if you go into the room, it's going to be a whole thing potentially.
We're gonna get into trouble again, yeah.
You might get into trouble again. Just walking right back into trouble.
That's our middle names, all of ours.
Yep. Adakora doesn't have a last name, but he does have a middle name.
Hell yes.
Okay. Sorry that was a little abrupt. I just don't really want to get into another potentially long scene.
No, it
And
makes
I'm
sense.
kind of sleepy. But yeah, you guys got a lot done.
Yay.
You've got some real good leads now.
Yeah, we definitely know that Petrov Sour is no good.
You sure do. And you pretty much know that Cassia is innocent, so that's fun.
Yay.
Now we
If
just need to
only we
prove
can
it to the
prove
court.
it.
Yep.